Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and today I want to make a preparation guide for those of you looking to speed level either Reaper or Sage when Endwalker releases. I get a lot of questions about this, so I wanted to clear the air on a few common misconceptions and let you know what to do to get these levels ASAP so you can take them into the Endwalker story like I'm going to be doing. First, if you haven't yet, check out my level 70 to 71 leveling guide. Yeah, I made a video on gaining one level as fast as possible, and that's because you need to get that level before you can access either of the options I'm going to talk about in this video. We'll also be repeating certain points made in that video since not everyone who sees this will immediately go click on that one. So before Endwalker even comes out, you'll probably want to prepare a few things, but what you actually prepare will vary depending on the method you choose to use to speed level these jobs. So I'll cover the relevant prep for each leveling method as well. The first method for speed leveling 71 to 80 is dungeon spamming. This just involves running the highest level dungeon over and over again to gain experience points, and then moving on to the next one. This is best done with a pre-made group, so unless you got a tank friend to join you at the start of the expansion, then this might not be a great option for a lot of you. You might consider using trusts, but that's going to lower your speed a lot. It's probably going to more than double the time that it takes, so only do that as an absolute last resort. If you decide to do dungeon spamming, you'll want to prepare as many of the following things as possible. First, Rested Experience. This bonus EXP is granted on monster kills and will double the base experience that you gain. Any bonus EXP other than Rested bonus will also not be deducted from the bar, so towards the end of using it, you might notice that the bar almost moves forward every time you kill a monster, drastically extending how long you can maintain this bonus. It's gained from your character being present, either logged in or out, in any area categorized as a sanctuary, such as a city or around an aetheryte, and it takes 96 hours in one of these to fully charge. Make sure this is maxed, and do not use the experience points by accident in the days leading up to the expansion launch. Second is gear. Now you will be provided with a base set for Reaper gear upon unlocking it, and you really don't need anything higher than that, but gear purchased with Allegan Tomestones of Poetics will be significantly more powerful, helping to speed up the first few levels. I purchased augmented Skaven gear from the Stormblood Poetics vendor, both the Tomestone and then the token exchange vendor for a weapon, in Rhalgr's Reach. This will run you just under 4,000 Tomestones of Poetics, but it helps a lot to grab it. You can usually start replacing this gear in the level 75 dungeon, and even prepare bonus sets ahead of time from the 77 dungeon if you really want, but personally I think that's a little bit overkill. Oh, and don't forget, you do not need to buy a belt. Those will not be around anymore after the expansion, so don't waste the tomes. And the third is just to get some more bonus EXP. There are a number of ways to increase EXP gains even further. Food, for example, is a 3% bonus, so ensure you just double tap that every time you possibly can. Free company actions can boost your gains up another 15% if you have grade 3 actions, but I understand not a lot of people do. If you don't have grade 3 actions, squadrons can actually earn you personal use equivalents. Please note that the consumables from squadrons and your free company buffs do not stack. It will only use the value that's higher, up to that 15%. A big one is the pre-order earring, the Menfina's earring. This will boost your monster kill experience gain by 30% from level 1 all the way until level 81. Now, if you're seeing this and the Endwalker is already released and you can't get it anymore, then you can also get Bojdan earrings. These will boost your experience gain by 10% from only 71 to 81 and can be earned by appraising 1,000 total fragments and Save the Queen content and then grabbing it as an achievement reward. If you're a high enough rank, you can probably stock up on Forgotten Fragments of Tenacity from the market board for dirt cheap and just quickly appraise all of those. You'll also naturally gain the Armory bonus if you have any jobs that are a higher level than Reaper or Sage, which if you're watching this video, you probably do. In Endwalker, this bonus is likely to be boosted to 100% bonus EXP, and this does not just apply to monster kills. This actually applies to a variety of activities that you can do in the game, and so that's going to speed things up for this level range a lot. Also bear in mind, dungeons are being changed to make the majority of experience points come from boss kills, so being able to quickly dispatch trash mobs to get to the bosses is of the utmost importance. Any other preparations you can make for the first few levels will be present in that 70 to 71 leveling video I released. Trust me, you want to get that done super fast in as little as 10 to 15 minutes, and you won't regret it as soon as you can slide into this or the other leveling method. Now, your other major option is the Save the Queen content. This is an adventuring foray content that can be unlocked by completing the Stormblood Alliance raid series and then unlocking it at Kaiten in Kugane from the quest Hail to the Queen. If you haven't unlocked this content, I'd get to it because it's the premier leveling method for 71 to 80 for most people. If you are fully progressed through the Save the Queen content, you'll have access to 2 leveling zones, the Bojdan Southern Front and Zadnor. Leveling in these zones can be done all the way from 71 to 80 and has no roll requirement, meaning you won't have to worry about waiting for queue times, sort of. It will also sync you up to level 80 and item level 430, so you don't need gear for the entire thing either. All you'll need to do in here is complete the skirmishes and critical engagements that appear and earn experience points, and that EXP even scales with your level. It goes really quick. The first question I usually get is which zone to pick. Now, the Boshin Southern Front is quicker to navigate, making it easier to get to the individual skirmishes. A similar effect is achieved by sticking to the northernmost zone in Zadnor, but it's not uncommon for these to be scaled incorrectly and even defeated too quickly for everyone to get credit. A big problem I see in both zones is confusion on how to spawn critical engagements. These are spawned exclusively by killing 4th Legion monsters in the zone that the critical engagement appears in. Specific 4th Legion monsters spawn specific critical engagements, or spawn the skirmishes that lead to critical engagements. This means if no one is killing them, critical engagements do not appear. In the Southern Front, it's much more common for people to drag 4th Legion monsters into random skirmishes. Thus, in my experience, you see more critical engagements in the Southern Front, which leads to more experience points, of course. In Zadnor, I see people do this less, so that might make the Southern Front better to level in, unless people make more active efforts in Zadnor to drag 4th Legion monsters into skirmishes and AoE them down. Even then, if everyone sticks to Zone 3 in Zadnor, that would lead to only 4 possible critical engagements, plus of course the Dalriada. Now, as for the Dalriada and Castrum, the major critical engagements that appear every half hour to an hour, their EXP values are nice, but if a team has stragglers, there's too many new players, or too many deaths, then these might result in a net loss, so speed levelers are probably going to avoid them, but at the very least, they have to weigh the option of whether or not they participate. So that's it, ride around and do skirmishes and critical engagements. Doesn't matter what job you are, doesn't matter what level you are, between 71 and 80, you'll be good to go. It's simple, but there is still some prep you can do. First, like I said, gear doesn't matter in this zone. As long as you have anything equipped in any given slot, your items will all get the same stats. So you just need to hit level 71, make sure every gear slot has something in it, and you'll eliminate the gearing process altogether. Now you can use the Boshin earrings, which actually give you haste inside of these zones, making you attack faster, which will improve your DPS consequentially. It is worth mentioning that gear from Save the Queen areas that provides additional haste, the main pieces, the left side gear, cannot be used by Reaper or Sage while leveling. Despite the zone syncing you up to level 80, your job itself is not level 80, which is required for the various haste increasing pieces. So don't spend gil or invest time into getting anything other than the earring. That will work the whole time. Now, instead of preparing gear, you're going to want to prepare your cache with powerful essences and actions. By ensuring you have plenty of DPS boosting items and abilities in your lost cache, you can use these to not only speed things up for yourself, but everyone around you. Please at least use DPS increasing essences. If you have the time, also consider grinding out at least a few honors in Zadnor. These can be earned by exchanging your medal after completing the story at rank 25 and can grant additional damage, health, and healing. Grabbing the DPS honors is an obvious choice at least. After you have all the DPS honors, if you get all the DPS honors, then you can worry about grabbing the health and finally the healing honors. Just a few DPS honors helps a lot. You'll basically get the first 2 for free anyway when you complete the story, so it's just a matter of grinding out any more that you want. Other than that, just get familiar with the various skirmish and critical engagement mechanics. Now you might be wondering about any various experience point prep like we did with the dungeon section, but unfortunately, Save the Queen content is almost completely unaffected by experience point bonuses. Food bonus doesn't work, FC and squadron actions don't work, and even your EXP earrings don't work. Yes, that includes the Boshin earrings, which do not provide bonus experience inside of these zones. That only works on monster kills, and the completion of a skirmish or a critical engagement does not fall under that category. Only the haste itself is going to work from the earrings. However, the armory bonus does work, so you will get that 100% bonus the entire time. This does come with a unique advantage. You get to save rested experience from level 80 to 90. Not necessary, mind you, if it's your first job through the MSQ, but it is nice to have. My only other advice is to carefully manage your skirmish and critical engagement participation. Only 24 or 48 people are going to be selected for critical engagements, so you want to be participating in skirmishes non-stop even when queued up for a critical engagement. Now, even if you are selected for a critical engagement during the queue time where you can actually teleport to it, do your best to get credit in nearby skirmishes before entering. Even if you aren't present when it's completed, you will still get the experience points for participating. Now, you do technically have other options to gain experience points. You can accept the Fairy Beast Tribe dailies the day of early access as soon as the servers come up, and then you'll actually get another set of those a little bit later in the day, which is a nice initial boost. Some people might even use that to do 70 to 71, if not at least to assist their 70 to 80 leveling. If you have any side quests, of course you could do those, but those aren't going to be great either. And for Reaper and Sage, you can't really prep much in advance because most of these things need to be accepted on those jobs in order to actually hand them in, which just eliminates a lot of the prep work that can be done on that front. You could, of course, do Fates. They're not bad, but I wouldn't say they're good. I'd rather do Trusts even, really, than do these Fates, so that's something to consider as well. At the end of the day, it's probably going to come down to dungeon spamming or doing Bozja, and if you're not willing to do either of those, then maybe just take your time. Do roulettes, do any of your normal leveling stuff without stressing leveling these specific jobs too much, and focus on something you already have at level 80 to take through the main story, or at least get started on the main story. Not everyone watching this video is going to dedicate 16 to 20 hours the day it comes out to level everything and just blast through the story at the pace that, they really probably want to. So don't feel bad about taking some of these things piecemeal and doing them slowly, because at the end of the day, there's no rush. You just need to enjoy the expansion launch, and I don't want to take that from you. But with that, that is going to be a wrap for my guide to speed leveling Reaper and Sage from 71 to 80 when Endwalker Early Access hits. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned. We'll have plenty more Endwalker videos coming on the channel both before and after the expansion actually launches. I'll see you then, and until then, take care.